Good evening, day, morning, whatever the heck time it is in your neck of the woods. Welcome to W-EMU, where we read Reddit. I'm your host, Lainey. Now imagine this. You're asked to be a bridesmaid. Cute dress, fun party. Maybe it's the last time hanging with this particular group of friends before, adulthood sets in for real. You say yes. Months later, ding, a Google Doc lands in your inbox with a 47-item list titled Bridesmaid Expectations and Requirements. You think, yeah, that's cute, that's funny. Probably, just dress code, schedule stuff. No. Mandatory spray tans, check. $400 glam package, non-negotiable, check. No tattoos unless approved by the bride, check. Also, you are her assistant now. Yes, officially, she wrote it down. And the pièce de résistance? Item number 47. Remember, this is my day, and your job is to make sure I shine. Ooh, that's not a requirement. That's a hostage situation in a tiara. So OP dipped, politely, respectfully. The bride, immediate meltdown. She sobbed, accused OP of betrayal, and now half of their friend group is investigating the list like it's a war crime. Wow. Let's go to Baz, who is standing outside the RMID, where the subreddit has been on an emotional lockdown since this list dropped. Baz.
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. Outside am I the asshole? The crowd is foaming at the mouth, and by foaming, I mean they're all chanting in all caps. Post the list, which was done. Op delivered the whole list. Appearance rules, social media rules, financial obligations. One comment from user Gokis kind of sums it up. I could spend my whole day getting drunk and jacking off, and I guarantee you there'd be more genuine happiness there than at this wedding. A classic Reddit response with a surprisingly airtight logic. User Courtsaw followed up with, she's the goddamn ticket master of brides, which in my opinion says Taylor Swift's about to come in and find a new way to screw her fans out of more money using this weird trick. Lainey, I dug through the comment trenches and here's the mood. 10% disbelief, 20% screaming for proof, and the remaining 70% are doing the math on how many years of therapy this bride's friends are gonna need. Consensus? Op's not just not the asshole. She's the last sane person in a bridal gulag. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Baz. Now, I'm not saying this bride-to-be is the villain, but if you send a Google Doc with 47 commandments, you don't get to cry when people start treating you like Moses coming down with a spray tan budget. Yep, that is a Bible reference for those of you who are biblically challenged. Looking at you, Baz. Coming up next, a man who claims his toddler has been prepping for end of times. That's the headline, not prophecy. Stay tuned. Tired of being emotionally unstable, socially invisible, spiritually meh?
Sick of people not responding to your text, even though you sent haha twice?
Introducing Like and Subscribe, the all-natural, algorithm-approved supplement guaranteed to make you hotter, smarter, and more tolerable at brunch.
It's not just a button, it's a lifestyle. With just one dose, you'll gain instant validation, digital charisma, aura of relevance, and 3 to 5 business days of pure uncut main character energy.
Side effects may include spontaneous glow-ups, increased follower count, and the sudden urge to start a podcast.
If you or a loved one you know suffers from low engagement, chronic lurking, or being mid,
try Like and Subscribe today. Because why go to therapy when you can go viral?
Ask your comment section if Like and Subscribe is right for you.
And welcome back to W-EMU. Tonight we bring you a story of leafy revenge, where one suburban homeowner responded to HOA tyranny with $35 and a war crime against landscaping. This is the ultimate story of hope, folks. OP lives in an HOA-controlled neighborhood, the kind where 3 retirees with clipboards monitor your lawn like it's front and center of a parade route, spotlighting urban suburban beauty. Well, they sent violation notices about a brown patch on an erosion-prone slope, demanding, quote, appropriate green coverage. So, OP tried everything. Grass seed, sod, landscaping services. Nothing worked. Until one night, Reddit and a little desperation teamed up, and our hero discovered mint seed bombs. Aggressive, aromatic, legally unstoppable. The mint not only flourished, it thrived, and then it spread past the property line onto the common areas, around the mailboxes, into the HOA's prized entrance garden. The street now smells like mojitos, and the HOA can't touch it because their own rules forbid them from removing plants planted by the residents. Let's check in with Baz, who's on the ground at what I can only assume is now a cocktail-themed botanical uprising. Baz!
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. I'm here at the Malicious Compliance Community Garden, formerly known as a quiet suburban cul-de-sac, and now it smells like a Trader Joe's exploded. According to Op, the mint has infiltrated mailboxes, walkways, and HOA board meetings, literally. The Facebook group is divided between mint haters and mint harvesters. One Redditor called it aromatic warfare. User Chief Internet Surfer declared that this is the type of malicious compliance you love to see, and yes, Lainey, it is this that we all come to this subreddit for. And it was followed up by seriously this shit said mint is grown in a pot or not at all. I think Op would beg to differ. So now the HOA is trapped by its own bylaws, section 4.2.7 to be precise, which prohibits removing resident planted vegetation. They're drafting a new charter, but 75% of the neighborhood refuses to sign it because Freeman and fuck HOAs. Lainey, what started as a patch of dead grass is now a hard-learned lesson and a well-deserved lesson for yet another overreaching HOA. Back to you, Lainey.
Wow, thanks, Baz. They said covered in green, and OP said, hold my beer. My mojito. Coming up, a man fakes amnesia to get out of an HOA fine, only to be elected president of the HOA by mistake. Turns out, best HOA president of the year. Stay with us, guys. You tired of karma farming? Reposts that make you want to scream, moderators who act like they're running the FBI, endless hot takes that feel like nails on a chalkboard.
It's like, why is everyone yelling? And why do they keep posting the same damn meme? Come on!
You need the fuck outside. The only prescription strength cure for your internet-induced rage. Oh, honey, you're so mad about Reddit. It's adorable. Here's a little medicine for that. Go outside. Yeah, outside, people don't argue about reposts, but instead argue over who forgot to mow the lawn. You're a terrible Redditor, and nobody's gonna love your post, so go out and get some fresh air. Side effects may include actual human interaction, fresh perspectives, and suddenly realizing most Reddit arguments don't matter.
Why didn't I think of that?
Maybe because you've been indoors arguing about karma farming since 2008, silly.
The fuck outside. Because sometimes the best cure is just a little fresh air.
And you are back with us at W-EMU Reddit News. So, here's the story. A woman, Winter Coconut 8313, logs into social media and discovers, oh, surprise, her son just got married. A courthouse wedding, photos, cake, flower arrangements, and Jane's whole family in attendance. The one person noticeably absent? Mother of the groom. She wasn't invited, wasn't notified, just scrolled into her own exclusion like it was a sponsored ad for heartbreak. Now, she says she regularly talks to the bride Jane since Jane and unnamed son have a baby together. OP assumed if anything wedding related was happening, she'd know because there'd be an invitation. But instead, she watched it all unfold on Instagram like a Hallmark movie where she wasn't in the cast. So, now she's asking Reddit, how do I express my hurt feelings without making it all about me? And Reddit answered with the soft grace of a brick to the face. Let's check in with Baz, who's reporting from the most chaotic corner of the emotional internet, outside our Am I the Asshole? Baz!
Thanks, Lainey. It doesn't look good. I'm standing here at the Am I the Asshole Missing Reasons Pavilion, where the crowd is less of a debate and more of a roast. Mistress Jacqueline Hyde cut to the point. I didn't invite one of my parents to my wedding for a myriad of reasons. Makes me wonder. Mr. Rogers AE noticed the glaring omission everyone clocked. She doesn't want to lose access to her grandchild. Again, no mention of her own child. From there, the comment section became less how to mend a family and more CSI emotional estrangement. Terms like missing reasons, emotional boundary violations, and red hat energy were tossed around like confetti at a courthouse reception she wasn't invited to. Unfortunately, this one has a tendency to hit home for a lot of us out here. It is clear that OP has struck the wrong chord with this crowd and they're not in the mood to give music lessons. Lainey, the comment section isn't ambiguous. It's overwhelmingly assuming that OP knows exactly why she was excluded. In the consensus, she's not telling Reddit the whole truth, just the parts that make her look sympathetic. Back to you, Lainey.
Well, thank you, Baz. You know, in the words of this sub, you're not the a-hole for being hurt, but maybe you are an a-hole like IRL, and that's why you were excluded. Ouch! Oh, anywho, coming up, a landlord posts their tenants' engagement photos to Craigslist to prove they're not emotionally stable enough to rent. That's not a dispute. That's a sitcom plot. You might want to stay tuned for that one, guys.
Ever looked at something so confusing, so baffling, you just had to ask? Make it make sense.
Now you can. Introducing Make It Make Sense, the only device guaranteed to untangle the spaghetti in your brain. Got a puzzle? A mystery? A Reddit thread more tangled than your headphone wire?
It makes it make sense, like magic, or, well, science. Probably science.
How does it work? It's simple. You just press this button and poof, clarity.
Make it make sense, no need to pretend. From chaos to order, it's your best friend. Make it make sense, don't break your head. Plug in the device and move ahead. Make it make sense, because sometimes you gotta ask.
We are at WEMU reading Reddit news like it matters. In tonight's HOA Hellscape, we bring you a tale of gravel, greed, and good old American nepotism. Yep. A woman living under HOA rule was told in her front yard that paths needed to be made of stone. Okay, that's reasonable, right? We all have rules, we all have bylaws we must live by. No problem. So she and a friend did it themselves, got it done in a day, inexpensive and a spec. QHOA president entering stage left like a bootleg bomb villain. He fined her $100 and declared the job invalid because it wasn't done by his cousin's company, which charges $10,000 for the same work. Oh, and yeah, he's the only contractor that the HOA accepts. Now the community is split between two groups, those who are outraged by the corruption and those who are too traumatized by their $400 approved mailboxes to fill anything anymore. Baz, I hear you're standing outside the HOA's official fine processing tent. What's the mood out there?
Thanks, Lainey. Does not look good. Out here by the HOA's certified Stone Pathway Enforcement Zone, the smell of fraud is heavier than a wheelbarrow of decorative gravel. Reddit is unanimous. This isn't just unethical, this is illegal. User Kajino8 says she needs a lawyer yesterday and an audit and maybe a flamethrower. User Icy Marinberry 9131 added some legalese that conflict of interest clauses may not stop this unless they're in the charter, so put pressure on publicly and demand a motion. So throw a tantrum. Got it. User Max the Dog won the comment war honestly, this is racketeering like literal felony level crime. Call the state attorney general. Now, whether or not this post is rage bait, it captured a truth every HOA sufferer knows deep in their HOA fine souls. The rules are fake, the power trip's endless, and the invoices are real. Back to you, Lainey.
Yeah, well, thank you, Baz. I'm not saying that this HOA is a criminal syndicate, but if this story had a soundtrack, it would be, woke up this morning, got myself a gun. All right, coming up, a retirement community bans blue flamingos. The residents revolt. One HOA official is missing. I guess that is just a Florida Tuesday. Stay with us. Want to feel legally invincible without ever opening a textbook? Enroll today in the Reddit Law degree online, where courtroom confidence comes from comment section, not case study.
I didn't need law school. I just quoted the Constitution under a meme about parking tickets. Now I win every argument.
Master the art of vaguely citing laws. Learn powerful phrases like, pretty sure that's legal, this violates my right, and the unstoppable I saw a TikTok about this. Apply today and you'll get our exclusive starter kit, including one free copy-paste cease and desist, a lifetime immunity to facts, and a certificate printed in MSP. If you try and use this degree in court, we will laugh at you publicly. Finally tonight on W-EMU News, this next story features a sister-in-law, a fiancé without a spine, and our OP, who is the bride-to-be, slowly realizing she's not just marrying a man, she's marrying a whole dysfunctional hierarchy. So our OP sat down for a family dinner. Everyone's smiling. Someone passes the potatoes, and then future sister-in-law drops in this little gem. You really should be grateful you're marrying into this money, honey. OP replies politely, calmly, I don't think that's appropriate. Later, the fiancé takes her aside and asks, could you just apologize, to keep the peace? My sister's sensitive. Sensitive? Well, let's check in with Baz, who's standing outside our wedding drama, where the subreddit is less fairy tale and more cautionary tale. Baz?
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. The air outside our wedding drama is thick with regret and prenup and red flag energy, and Reddit is not here to sugarcoat it. User Fantastic Mechanic came in hot with politely tell him no, and if this is how it's going to be, maybe there doesn't need to be a wedding. Lego Caltrops, with quite the disturbing name, says it's been 2 decades of being second to his mom. I'm lining up a divorce. So the vibe down here is firm. This isn't just about an apology, it's about a preview. Reddit's consensus is overwhelmingly united. He's telling her exactly how it's going to be, not just now, but for birthdays, holidays, pregnancies, funerals, and every single petty family dinner in between. And the crowd's advice, don't marry a man who needs you to shrink so his sister can feel tall. Back to you, Lainey.
Thank you, Baz. With the phrase, just apologize to keep the peace, it's coming from your fiancé before the wedding. Maybe reconsider joining that particular circus. But if you choose to stay, at least pick a good seat, because there's always going to be a show. Okay, coming up on our next episode, we are going to bring you a groom who brings a PowerPoint to his own wedding titled, Why I'm Technically Right. I'm sure his marriage is going to work out just fine. See you next time, guys. Next time on As the Golden Plates Turn.
Elder Jensen's celestial courtship hits a snag when Sister Brighton found his family group sheet and realized he was already sealed to 2 imaginary wives from the work and the glory.
And over in Lehigh Ridge Estates, Stake President Wichmanson went into hiding after his vision board turned out to be a hidden stash of Exmo TikToks and half-eaten Costco bake sheet.
Meanwhile, Sister Wayman's Relief Society enrichment night was shut down after the Jello salad began speaking in tongues. Authorities suspect either revelation or Diet Sprite.
And in a shocking twist, Brother McKay's food storage rotated itself.
He claims it was angels. The ward thinks it was Roomba with a collar.
The primary pianist goes rogue with a jazz arrangement of Follow the Prophet.
Sister Zindel accuses the bishopric of priestcraft after they install an espresso machine in the clerk's office.
And the Relief Society president receives an anonymous envelope filled with D&C themed fan fiction.
Again.
Will the elders' quorum remember to remove Sister Clef's couch before the millennium?
Find out next time on As the Golden Plates Turn, the only soap opera filmed entirely in the Cultural Hall.